everyone, happy Thursday. Thanks for joining me for a craft night with friends. My name's Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for beginners. And I'm here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. So thanks again for joining me. Tonight we are continuing on our punch needle. So here's where we got so far. It's huge. We are doing it of the tulips, so we actually work from the back, and then this is the front, but we work from the back, and it is a blown up version of the tulip embroidery pattern of ours. So I just took the PDF pattern of this and blew it up, I think around 600%, and then we transferred it. I just traced it to the fabric by holding it up to the sun, and it worked great. And we got pretty farther than I thought yesterday of the start of the tulip. So I'm hoping to get more, like this whole flower and then one other flower at least done today. It'd be awesome if we could get all 3 flowers done. We'll see. So anyway, that's that for today. And just a reminder, it is the last day for our embroidery of the month. So it's the last day to get the outer space design with the freebie, which is our outer space notepad. So wanted to remind you of that. That's going to switch over at like 10:20ish tonight. So I'll be taking it offline at 10, and then I'll be putting the new embroidery of the month up at, like, it'll take about 20 minutes to put up. But April, it's going to be April. It's crazy. So all right, you guys, I'm going to flip you around here, and we'll get started for the night. All right, so hello everyone. Okay, so again, here's where we got last night. This is the back of the piece, and we're working from the back, and then it's all kind of like revealed on the front. So here's the little loop pile that we got going. I think it's looking super duper fun. I'm having just a ton of fun doing this. I'm using all recycled, not recycled, but like yarn from my stash. So we're slow motion recycling is what I call that when I use stuff from my stash versus buying something new. And we are using the punch needle. So I have my setting here. I haven't changed anything, so we're going to get started just real quick. So I have my threader. We're going to go up through the tube. Wait, no, we're going to go this way. I got to bring it down so it ends up at the bottom of the tube, so let's do that. I really would love to get as far as we can on this today. I had so much fun working on this yesterday, though. All right, hey everyone popping in. Okay, so now it's through the tube, and we are going to go through the little, it's got a little bevel cut at the end of this, a little like, I don't know, 60-degree angle, like slash, and with a hole. So we need to also bring the thread through that hole. So I'm using that needle threader. It'll come with a needle threader, your punch needle. I think I just got this one on Amazon a long time ago. I did a search most likely for punch needle yarn, because some of them are big like this that can hold yarn, and others are smaller just for like embroidery floss. And so I did a search for punch needle and then adjustable. I did want an adjustable one. So this one I can change the height of the tip, or the needle part I suppose, and that'll change the height of the pile. So I kind of wanted that option. All right, let's get going. We are just going to, I'm going to go again just to like reiterate how we're doing this. So it has that bevel. I'm going to put a punch in, and I'm going to bring the needle up just so it grazes the surface, and then I'm going to put another punch in just a little bit away, and I'm going to keep doing that, and it should leave a loop on the other side. The tension of the fabric holding that in, and the tension of the other loops that are already there will hold it in place, as long as there's no tension on this. So I have to make sure I have a lot of slack for it to work. Oh, Kimberly says, I've never seen the big punch needle before. Oh, you have the very thin punch needle. Yeah, so I like the thin one, but it is just really fun to work big and be able to work with yarn. All right, so I'm just going to move all these other little fuzzles out of the way. And I think we'll just start at the top, start at the point. And again, I'm just kind of leading with that bevel. And we're just going to go around and around. So we did all the small parts yesterday of this flower. I think if you're on TikTok and I do it, you can see me push through. We're pushing that needle to the front. I don't think I can hold it up to see on YouTube, but we're pushing those loops to the front, and I'm just making little stitches, just enough to have a little bit more of that fabric. Ooh, and I can't have any tension, so I gotta let this be all really loose. And we're using monk's cloth is the name of this fabric. I got this at Joann's. I think if you're really doing like super duper rug making, like with a tufting gun and stuff, I think you still use monk's cloth, but I think it's a different kind. I must have looked that up at some point, because I feel like that's the case. I feel like they still call it monk's cloth, but it seems sturdier and heftier than this. It kind of looks a little bit like cross-stitch fabric, where you can see like all the little holes to put a little cross-stitch in, but bigger. But the fabric's much drapier than, much softer and drapier than cross-stitch fabric. Ooh, I think I might have made a hole there. We'll see on the front. So we're working on a big area here, so we'll probably be in this area for a little while. Hey everyone! Oh, you got, Kathy says, got a punch needle with an embroidery kit. Oh, that's interesting. It's sometimes pitched as punch needle embroidery, and so you can kind of mimic, like what we're doing now almost mimics a back stitch. So if this was the front of your piece, it would sort of look like a back stitch. However, the back of your piece is, or like the other side of the piece, is still going to be a whole bunch of loops, so it's not going to hold in place like what embroidery would. So it's a little misleading, I think, when it's pitched as embroidery. So I don't know. You can mimic some kinds of stitches, but I don't know how you secure the back after doing that. Kind of weird. So hope everyone is having a lovely evening. I wonder if you guys can see, if I lift this up, see the little needle poking through a little bit. So I'm just going to go around and around. I think on like bigger pieces, like again with that tufting gun, like a whole like gun that does this, I think a lot of times they typically just go up and down to fill spaces, but we're just going to go around and around. And I need more thread. I'm just going to keep trying to keep this slack. Oh, Grace says, I can't believe how big the tulips are. It looks great. Thanks so much. Okay, so it's not Ada cloth, Kimberly. It does look like that though. So, but it's not. It is much, much bigger than that. But it does look like the Ada cloth. It's called monk's cloth though. But if you are going down, I think it would be like the muslins in like that aisle probably, if you were at a Joann's or something. And if you see something that kind of looks like cross-stitch fabric but huge, that's probably it. But it has a totally different feel. Like that Ada cloth typically is, I don't know, starched or something to make it really kind of stiff. This is not like that at all. And this actually shrinks a ton. So if you're doing something and you're planning on washing it, I would definitely wash this beforehand, because it shrinks like 10% or something, like a crazy amount. I think what monk's cloth is originally used for is like for towels, like a type of toweling that you can do a certain kind of embroidery on. How much punch needle have I done? Hardly any at all. I brought both pieces, so 2 pieces I think. I've done one with the smaller thread and one with larger yarn like this. I'll show you guys once I'm done filling this space in, which might be a little while, but I'll show you the 2 pieces I've done before, and none of them were this big, so this is this is me just kind of hopping into this craft again for fun. And I'm just really loving this tulip so far. I mean, it'll take a while to finish for sure. And I think, I'm not convinced I want to make it into a pillow anymore. I kind of want to do like a wall hanging rug or something. Do I punch every hole or skip some? I'm pretty much doing every hole. I'm not going more than a hole. Sometimes I'll like kind of pierce in the middle, but in general I am kind of going every hole. And you can do a test. So you can do some punches next to each other and then like flip it over and look at the front. And if they all seem like really mashed together, like too dense, then you can spread them apart a little bit. But if they're all kind of airy, then you might want to like squish them together some more. It's actually the closeness of the stitches that kind of hold each other. So each stitch is like pushing the fabric away, right? So if you're pushing the fabric away and then you have a stitch next to it that's pushing the fabric away, it's kind of pushing next to each other, and that's what holds the stitches in. Unless you pull them all out. You can just like pull and it comes all out. Service, where did I get the monk's cloth? I got this from just Joann's. I think I've had this for probably a decade just sitting around. I think I got it because I was doing large embroideries, actually kind of like that hedgehog that's behind me there. I wanted to find some sort of fabric that I could stitch bigger things on, like with yarn, that it wouldn't be hard to put through, to like pull yarn through the fabric, because that would be hard with like a quilting cotton or something. So I found this monk's cloth. I had never heard of it before at Joann's. And then after doing more research, it is for like a certain kind of embroidery, like to make like towels traditionally, like, I don't know, probably kitchen towels or something, where you want like a little decorative trim with embroidery. I think that's what it was typically used for. But then I found out later that a type of monk's cloth is what they do the rug hooking on, or the tufting on, which is basically what we're doing here. So I bought it randomly to embroider on, and then learned that it could be used for this. And I bought a ton of it. I don't know why. So I have like a whole bolt of it. But now that I know I can use it for this, I've been thinking about it for that. Is there a difference between a wooden and plastic needle? I don't think so. So I think, so a popular like small business, I think, is Amy Oxford, and she has like the Oxford needle, and I think that's wood, and they're oftentimes wood. This is just like a cheap one that I got on Amazon, and it's adjustable. So this one has like a little like click area in here that I can adjust it. How big is the hoop? I think this is a 24-inch quilting hoop. So this you can get from Joann's too. It's just like one of those, I guess I was going to say like cheapy quilting hoops, but I'm thinking it's still probably, I don't know, $10 to $20. I haven't looked in a while. But it's not like some fancy like floor frame or anything. It's pretty as cheap as they come, I suppose. I actually had some fabric framed in it, and I took the fabric out. I had it like hot glued to this for like a trade show or something, and I tore the fabric out, and so I could use it for this. And it seems to be working fine. I mean, I'm balancing it on the table and stuff. Like, I wouldn't want to hold this up without it balancing on something. That would just wouldn't work well for this process. Oh, cool. Oh, some of my early embroidery kits. Oh, awesome. Joe said I visited a garment pattern store in Alexandria, Virginia 2 weeks ago. And what do I see? Some of your early embroidery kits. Oh, that's awesome. That's cool. yeah, we still have a bunch of the older embroidery kits in our clearance section, are where we have all those. Oh, Kimberly says this reminds me of those needlepoint pieces that are on ottomans. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, huck weaving. That's it, Cheryl. Cheryl says huck weaving is done on monk's cloth, and that's like a counted, it's almost like a counted embroidery. So I think that's where, you know, you have like little kind of decorative rectangular almost patterns. And you have like all the holes laid out for you, so it's an easy to follow thing. All right, we're getting there with this. I think it'll probably just take a few more minutes to finish this. We're to the inside now, so I think that'll go pretty quickly. Excited to see the front again, but I don't want to like flip it with the yarn and the needle still, because I feel like we would just pull out stitches. So these stitches, like I said, I could pull any one of these and the whole thing would come out, which is sometimes great. Like if I wanted to change the color of like one of these sections, I could just pull it out and just fill it in right away. So that's kind of a benefit. But that means I'm probably going to, if I'm going to leave it as like a rug or wall hanging sort of thing, I'm going to have to glue the back, I think. So the stitches are permanent. I have a stuffed animal that I bought from this designer who does this, but with the tufting gun. Her brand is Loom Shakalaka, I think, which is pretty cute. I'll show you that once I'm done here too. That was done with a tufting gun, but she turned it into a pillow, and I'm not sure she glued it. But I suppose you could do some iron-on interfacing maybe to hold it. That could be too. I'm not quite sure. Like I said, this is like my third punch needle piece and biggest, so I don't know. I have more research to do, but I'm going to do more of these for sure. Oh, Swedish weaving, Kimberly says, is done on monk's cloth as well. It's kind of a fun fabric. It is really drapey. Like it feels nice. Looks like Ada cloth, but big, but just totally different kind of texture, drape to it. All right, we're getting there. Oop, I need more yarn. So next up, I'm going to do another one of these flowers, the pink flower, and I'm going to use this red as the outline for that. So once we're done with that, then I'm done with the red. So I'm just kind of working through my colors for this. I'll probably keep them with the project still in case I need it for some reason. But then it can be off the table at least, which is nice. All right, getting there, just a little bit in the center here. Then we can take a peek. More thread. I think this would be a great way to use up tons of scrap fabric, or scrap yarn. Just do a whole like abstract art piece almost. Just draw some shapes with an outline and then fill it in with all your scrap yarn. I might have to do something like that. All right, here we go. That's the last stitch. So I'm going to bring this up and I'm going to hold that yarn in place. There we go. And then trim. All right, so here's what it looks like from the back. I've just gone like around and around the shape. So let's peek at the front. All right. It's so pretty. Oh my gosh. So here is it. It's about a 1/2 inch pile. Oh my gosh. It's looking so freaking cute. I love it. So I do have like some funny little loops in there, but you can kind of tuck those in later. Like when we're entirely done with this, we can like tweak where each little loop is. Like we can scooch one over and scooch one over here to just kind of make the outline nicer and all that. So any loop that's coming way out, we can just snip and squish out of the way. But this is looking so freaking cute. Ugh! Alright. This is exciting. Oh, while we're here, why don't I show you these other pieces? So these are the two other things that I've punch needled. So this is done with embroidery floss. This is with that smaller punch needle, so not my big one that the yarn goes through. And then, so that's a different punch needle, so that's a smaller one. And then this piece here, remember this piece? This is with the yarn, so this is with the same punch that I'm using now, and that's yeah, with that big yarn one. And this is this hoop, isn't this cute? This is by Auburn Hoops. And I don't think they were intending it to be a lion, but the shape was like perfect for a cute little lion. So that's that. So those are the two pieces I've done. I've done no other punch needling, so it is something you can learn quickly. Like, I mean, you know, I've only done two. It doesn't really take that much skill once you get, or any skill, once you get the hang of it. All right, so let's turn it around again. So here's the design again. We do the design on the back. So I'm going to do this second tulip over here. And again, I'm using that embroidery pattern as my guide. So I have that as a pink flower. So the colors I have for that, I was going to continue with the red for the outline. Again, I'm using fabric or thread from my stash. So I don't know if I would have chosen all of these just like how I did if I wasn't using my stash. But then I have this kind of pink. I think it's about the same weight. I'm using all different stuff. Like, this is wool, this is acrylic. I'm just using what I got, and it seems to be working so far. So I think this is going to be a nice, bright, pretty pink. So let's see how it goes. So I'm going to outline this whole thing with the red. I don't think that'll take that long. And then I'll fill it in with that pink next. So then I can just finish the red. So that's the plan. All right. Oh, that sounds, Kimberly says, would you like us to send you all of our excess yarn? I'd be glad to ship 20 to 30 pounds to you. That is massively tempting. Oh God, I love art supplies. I have no idea where I would put it, and that would give me a little bit of a panic, I think, because I'm trying to get rid of my stuff, but dang, it would be awesome at the same time. All right, I'm trying to think of how to make this a path, like as continuous of a path as I can. I don't think that's as easy as it is in embroidery. I think I'm going to just come up here, come down here, and then do this all the way around, and then I'll have to cut it, and then do the other shapes, I think. I think that'll work. All right, we're starting here then. Dang, though, if I did... I'm thinking this uses up a ton of yarn. Oh, please say yes. I was just going to say, if I think this just uses a ton of yarn, so if I was doing this a lot, or even with like the tufting gun, I think that probably goes through yarn a crazy amount. Then I would consider it if I had a whole rug tufting situation going here. So who knows? Maybe in 6 months, Kimberly, I'll be like, send me all your yarn. Maybe I'll have a whole thing going. We'll see. I am enjoying this. So I'm imagining doing this, but like 3 times as big, and like probably 8 times as fast with the tufting gun. That would be pretty fun. I do not have the space for that right now, but that would be amazing. Got a little wiggly here, but I think once we fill it in with the pink, that'll get corrected a little bit. All right, now I'm gonna go around this middle petal. Again, I'm leading with the open bevel side of the punch needle. So I am kind of rotating as I stitch. Stitch? Would you call this stitching? Rotating as I punch, maybe? Kimberly says I could open my own yarn shop. It's a sickness. Ugh, I managed, when I cleaned up, I went through all this stuff a few months ago because I keep moving it around, but I managed to fit all my yarn in one really big bin. The bin is full and squished shut and hard to find stuff in, but it is one giant bin. Oh, actually, you know what? I think I have a smaller bin of it too. Dang it, it's not all in one bin. I should organize it, though. I want to organize it by, what's wool, or by size and stuff, too. I haven't dug into that. I figured getting it all in one spot was a good step one. But yeah, I haven't bought any fabric or yarn recently. I'm literally trying to use up everything I have, which, is never going to happen. And I'm sure if I go to a shop somewhere, I'll be buying more yarn and fabric. But I'm trying to resist and actively use what I have. When I'm done with this outline, this is going really quickly. When I'm done with this outline, we'll flip it around and peek at it again. Ooh, I need more slack. If I wouldn't let this be totally slack, it's just going to pull right back out. Because there's no like tension holding it in, really, except for the other stitches. So if it has any tension coming from some other direction, like if it's in the ball and holding in the ball, it's going to just pull out, or the loop will be really small. All right. So now I need to start in another spot. All right, I think we'll get these little bits up top quick. Oh, let's get more slack. So when they're doing this on like a tufting gun, they're doing it typically on a cone, or like a center pull thing where there's no tension and it's coming just straight up. But, I'm going slow enough with this hand punch needle that I can pull out more yarn if I need to. All right, that spot's done. How are the nails? They are holding up great still. I mean, by now, I did them on Monday evening, so by now I would have for sure 100% had to have redone them at least once. I would have probably been on my first time redoing it and debating whether I needed to do it for tomorrow's live or not. And it's nothing. Like, there's no anything. Like, they're perfect still. So, I mean, it's crazy. It's already gonna pay off as far as my time goes, for sure. Even though it took us like 2 hours, took me 2 hours to do, but I'm thinking it won't go that long next time, for sure. And if I am saving like 2 hours a week from not having to do it 3 times, then, I'm still in the like win column. And I'm not thinking about them. I mean, I am thinking about them a lot this week, but I'm not thinking about it like, oh, I can't, like, if I will take a hot shower, is it all going to come off? So it ended up being like 4 layers, which I didn't think I needed to do really. So I did builder. I did the build layer. So I'm counting those as layers. So I did a build layer and then 2 coats of the color, and I definitely needed a second coat of the color. I think it was kind of pretty transparent after the first go. And that's all I was going to do, but then people were saying, oh, you should put a clear on top or more of the builder. So I'm like, okay, so I did that because then when you sand it down, you're kind of sanding that layer, I think, instead of the color. I don't know. So it ended up being like 4 layers. So they are very much thicker than what my normal like lacquer nail polish would be. But so far I'm really happy with them. I do feel like I chipped, oh, not this finger, but the other pointer finger, which is busy right now. I do feel like I kind of chipped the tip of it a little, but that chip would have been like a whole broken nail normally, and now it's just nothing really. Like, it's just, you can't even see it. It's just like the right on the edge is a little chipped off, but it's, like I said, nothing. I can just feel it, and I know it's there. So that's it. All right, let's take a peek. Oh, okay, it's looking good. So look at the difference, though. It looks so bloopy and wobbly, and this is because there are no other stitches pushing at it to hold these stitches in. So you always start off with like these weird little loops, and it looks like it's going to be nothing, but it always, it's going to look like this, where all the stitches are pushed together, and the act of all of the tension of those loops are going to hold it all in. Oh, you thought it would be at least 4? Might be looking you up to do mine. Oh, you should. So I did do a little follow-up post where I did the live in like times 50x speed, like it was super fast, but it kind of went through the process a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna start filling this in with pink, and I think we'll do one little area and then we'll peek at it just because I want to see what it looks like. So I think let's just go like left to right this time maybe. So I'll do this little area here. With the pink. Hey, we're done with the red though, so I'm gonna just get that out of my way. Okay, so now we gotta thread the pink. Ooh, that center pulls really nice, and the center pull was right there. Dang. Wonder if I've used this before. I must have. All right, usually it's not that easy to find a center pull, so I don't know how that was managed. All right, so I've got my huge needle threader again, and it should come with a needle threader. No matter what brand you get, it should come with some sort of needle threader. Okay, so going all the way through the tube, and then we also have to go through that hole in the bevel. So that's kind of like the needle. It's probably why it's still called a needle, like punch needle, even though it's kind of just more like a tube. All right, so pull through there as well. Okay, we're all set again. Get some slack in here. All right, so we'll fill in that left space and then see what we got. We'll just start at the top, I guess. So this feels like it looks like the same width about, but again, this is a different I keep saying fabric. It's a different yarn. This is, it's got to be acrylic. I'm thinking this is a really soft acrylic yarn. I got it to like crochet baby toys a long time ago. I used to make these cute little teddy bears that have like a letter on their tummy. So I'd give them as baby gifts and stuff. So that's what this is from, and that red is a wool, like a shrinkable wool. So I shouldn't wash this, which I'm not intending to. But anyway, so I'm using whatever yarn I have, and it seems to work. I think it's less about the yarn and more about the cloth. Again, this monk's cloth, it's able to, the weave is kind of soft and big enough that it can move, like the threads of the cloth can move out of the way when I punch the needle in. Like I'm not tearing the cloth with the needle, basically. And then it kind of wants to go back. So all these stitches and the cloth, the tension on each other is kind of what's holding it in. This is kind of a big area still, so we'll work on this a little bit. I'm not sure we'll get this tulip completely done today. So we might get to the same spot, like just like one little area left over. We'll see. Again, you can kind of peek. You guys get a little peek. I think this pink and red will be cute though. So I'm just, again, using the thread I had, and I didn't really have a good color to outline the whole thing in, so I'm like, maybe each section has its own outline color. So we'll see how that works. All right, I think I can go faster. Just get in the groove here. So I'm not pulling the needle, I'm pulling it above the surface, but I'm not like lifting it up. I'm kind of just dragging the tip along to the next spot, because if I pull it up, then I'm going to be pulling my loop out, and I don't want to do that. And again, if I wanted to change this color, I could just pull this whole thing out really easily and start fresh with a new color. Could you knot the thread when you get to the end? Would that make it come undone? You don't need to knot it. So like these are just all hanging out here. A knot wouldn't really accomplish anything, because I could pull anywhere on this, or I could pull on the loops on the front and it'll all come out. So you really need to hold it in when you're done with something. If it's going to be like if it's a pillow or something, I think you'd have to put some sort of fusible web on it, or I'm not sure. And then with when you're making a rug, they actually glue the back. So that will make all these stitches kind of permanent. Or if you're not going to touch it or anything, like if it's just going to be a wall hanging, then you probably don't have to do anything. But if someone yanks on one of these threads or one of these yarns or whatever, if it's hanging on that wall, it'll come out. So that's what's weird about it. That's like the scary thing about it. But it's actually probably a benefit. Like you can easily pull an area out and switch a color, or if you don't like it, or the same thing, like you can frog a knitting project or something, but that's a thing I would want to avoid. All right, we're almost got this area down here done, and then it's kind of a smaller space to work in after that. Yeah, I am pretty much going each little square. Ooh, this comes off of the ball really nicely. This pink is really pretty though, like a nice bright tulipy pink. This would actually be a good strawberry, this red and pink together. Ooh, strawberries, big tufted or punch needle strawberries would be cute. You know what? We've never done a strawberry embroidery pattern. I might have to do a strawberry embroidery pattern. Oh yeah, and just a reminder, you guys, again, it's the end of March, so our embroidery of the month is going to be switching over tonight. So this is the last night to get the embroidery of the month with that freebie. We've changed how we do the embroidery of the month, so they're still going to be available, but just not at the discounted subscription price and not with the freebie anymore. And then I have all of the next month's ready to go if you're a subscriber to the embroidery of the month. You don't need to be a subscriber. You can, if you just like the pattern, you can get it like whatever months you want it, and then not the other months. But if you are subscribed, your packages are just about ready to go out. I'm hoping to get them out tomorrow yet. All right, I think I'll get two more stitches coming back this way. All right, let's see what this looks like. Ooh, I think I might have pulled one out. We'll see. Oh my God, I can't grab onto the needle or the scissors. Okay, let's see. Oh, those loops feel huge. I think it's just really shiny. Oh, that's cute though. I like this red, and the red and the pink together are looking fun. It's just like really bright together. This is gonna be neat, like all different colors, I think. So like the last tulip's gonna go here, and it's gonna be yellow with this orange outline, and this orange looks a little thinner. Well, we'll see how that looks, but yeah, so these are all going to have kind of a little bit of a different vibe to them. And then we have all the let me flip it over to the back again so you can see the design. So all the rest of this is going to be filled in with green. So I have like this light colored green, and I have more of it, and then this dark green for the outline. So they each have their own little outline going with it. But yeah, let's take a peek at it again. I think that's looking good. So again, all of the other stitches that we do will hold in the stitches that are already there, and I think that's going to help with the outline and stuff. But ooh, it's so soft and fuzzy. So funny. I think comparing the wool with the acrylic, first of all, the acrylic is just super shiny, which is kind of fun. You can kind of see each loop maybe a little bit more, and the wool kind of blends together a little bit, so it'll be kind of interesting to see how this goes. All right, let's get going again. Get some more slack. So I'm going to do this. I'll do these two little petals that are kind of hanging out in the back. How are we doing on time? Oh, we might have time to finish this yet. Let's keep going. Actually, I think I can punch needle this. Maybe I can go kind of back and forth, and then I can just start this next one right away. That's an idea. Let's see if I can do that. Oh, I'm putting tension on it, though, by having my arm on the yarn. Yep, I'm just going to go around. Up the middle. I kind of feel like, we're probably fine. Yeah, I think I am gonna, I was thinking of just jumping to the next area, but I'm not comfortable doing that. I'm gonna just snip it. Should we try this big one in the middle? I'm just kind of looking at our time. I think we're just gonna keep going left to right. Yep, so this is the big one like we did at the start today of the other flower, so this one might take some time. But it's going to feel like we got a lot done with it, I think. I think the natural upgrade, if someone really got into this and wanted to do bigger pieces and faster, would be to get a tufting gun. Like build a frame to stretch the monk's cloth on, and then get a tufting gun to get all the yarn in. Kimberly's asking, can you use more than one strand of yarn? I tried that yesterday, and it didn't seem to work. And the reason is that I can't have any tension. Like, this needs to, like, loosely flow through this tube. And having the two strands in there at once, it was just too tight in there. So, like, I know with the tufting gun, you can do several strands because the tube is bigger. So I think it's basically based on the size of the tube. So 2 strands, I think I did it with the dark pink that was, or that maroon, that dark brick red or whatever. That's the outline for the red tulip. That I tried with 2 strands, and it wouldn't go. It would just pull, like I'd pull it right out with the needle with it having not moved. So I need that, it needs to be thin enough to like flow through this tube and like just freely without any tension whatsoever. Because the tension, I think, of the fabric's got to be a little bit more than the tension going through the tube to hold it in the fabric so it doesn't come right back up. Get more slack, lots more slack. think this pink is going to be nice and shiny and pretty though. So I think we'll probably work on this a little bit tomorrow. I did get some more tatting done, so I'll share that. I think it's going to be National Tatting, or I don't know, World Tatting Day or something silly tomorrow. So maybe we'll talk about tatting for a little. But I'm kind of in this piece now. I kind of want to see if we can get all the tulip buds done and maybe even start on the greenery. Because it's just kind of fun. And it's just such a big piece. It'd be nice to just keep working on it versus storing it somewhere until whenever the next time we work on it is. There, let's get a rhythm going here. This would be a perfect, like, chill and watch TV project. Just so silly. All these different crafts with different tools, and I don't know. It's all just so fun. I love trying all these new crafts. What's in my head right now is something rising to the top of something I want to try is tambour embroidery. Have you guys heard of this? Tambour embroidery, actually it looks a whole lot like what we're doing here. Tambour embroidery, you work from the back to the front, and you almost have something that looks like a punch needle, except for what it really is a sharp needle that can go through, and it has a hook on the end, like a tiny, tiny crochet hook. So it's like a needle with a tiny crochet hook on the end. And it has a handle like this, and you are basically making a chain stitch on the opposite side, I think. But while you do that, you can catch beads and sequins and other stuff in that chain. So I don't know, I don't quite know how to do it, but it looks intriguing and fun and exciting. So I don't know, tambour embroidery is definitely rising to the top. Oh, you were here, hey Ray, you were here when you started. How far have I gotten? I have the first tulip done. I am working on tulip number 2. So I was here yesterday for an hour, and I've been here for about 50 minutes or so. So this is almost 2 hours in. I'm hoping to finish this. I think we'll probably just get this petal done. So I think I would like to keep working on this tomorrow, since we have one more day this week before we're back to embroidery on Monday. So I'd like to get as far as possible on this. So I think we'll finish this flower tomorrow, and I'd like to finish the third flower, which is just kind of a bud in the middle. It's a yellow tulip, so yellow bud with an orange outline. And we've all the green to go yet. Oh, thanks, Ray Ray. I think this pink is gonna look cute. And then, so when I'm done with this whole motif, I think I'm gonna have to fill it. Like all these like negative spaces in between the leaves and stuff, I think I gotta fill that with more stitches. So I'm gonna have to look in my stash for like a white. I must have a white somewhere. And I'll fill in the background and probably give it like, I don't know, a 1-inch border all the way around, or maybe a 2-inch border of that white. I'll probably I'll take my Sharpie and draw on the back, like just around the edge. It would be cute if it was in like a circle, but I was thinking, it'd be kind of fun just to follow the shape of the tulips. I think that'd be I like that idea of having like an odd shaped, a tulip-shaped rug wall hanging when I'm done. So I'm going to have to find, white. But we'll do the entire motif on the inside first, like all the tulip, and then we'll chill and just stitch all the white stitches when we're done. I must have some white. Who doesn't have white yarn? How do you spell timbre for tambour embroidery? I think it's Tambour, but that's just a guess. but it looks like, if you Google it, it'll look very similar to what I'm doing now. But the device is a little bit different, and what you're accomplishing is a little bit different. But physically, you are working from the back of the piece, and then, the front's happening on the other side. And you're using different materials and stuff too. I follow someone on TikTok who had just did tambour embroidery on with a whole pile of sequins and stuff, and it just is so shiny and pretty. I have no idea what I would do with it. I have no purpose to have a sparkly, shiny anything, but you can do beads too, and I have so many beads from, getting beads from the bead store growing up. I used to make bead bracelets and stuff. It'd be fun to use that in something, but again, I don't know what I would make. But even a fancy bag or something would be fun. I'd make something. We'd come up with something. Ooh, Anna's saying it might look good with a blue background. That's true. So I might just have to... Oh, Amy says blue might be pretty as well. 2 votes for blue. I will have to look. I do have a light blue, actually, that is similar to this pink acrylic, because I got a light blue to make those teddy bears, like I did with this pink. That would be kind of cute, maybe. I'll have to look at that. That's a decision I can make when this whole center motif is done. And the cool thing is that we could actually test different colors and then just pull out the one. Since it's so easy to pull out colors, we could just pull out the one that we didn't like and fill it back in with the color that we did like. So that'd be kind of fun to try. So we are just about done with this pink, and I think we'll have time to do at least one more of these sections. Kind of want to finish it, but we'll leave it for tomorrow. All right, last stitch. Let's get that out there. All right, I want to peek again. They're coming together. So some of these little pointy bits up here, the outer edge will get definition when we do that outer border of that white. So it's a little crowded up top here, you can't see all these points too much. I mean, you can over here, okay. So, but I think that'll come across when I do that outer edge, and we can manipulate it a little bit. This guy will have to snip. There's some loops that got pretty big in here. All right, let's do another. I might actually just see if we can finish this. Let's see. Let's just go quick. Try and finish it in this little bit of time here. So I'm going to do this little one. This is that top petal, and then I'll trim it again, and see if we can crank out this last petal quick before 9:30. Now that we got it cracking for the night. Again, I'm just rotating the needle, the punch needle, so I'm always going in the direction of the bevel. The bevel is turning. It's called punch needle. The souped up version of this is called rug tufting, right? Yeah, rug tufting. So punch needle is when you do it by hand, and tufting is when you're doing it with a gun. But it's physically, you're basically doing the same thing. You're pushing yarn through fabric. Totally gonna try and crank this guy out in 5 minutes. Let's see if we can do it. I just gotta keep the slack going. So I think this is pretty delicate until we get that glue on the back though, so I just need to But, you know, if we do accidentally pull out some of these stitches, we can just cut it and then get that color again and stick it back in. All right, rotating, coming back up this side. Ooh, slack. It's fun working this big, though. I definitely can see myself doing this size again. Because it's still, even though it's big, it's not like it's taking ages. I mean, not any longer than some of the tiny crafts that we do, you know? So it's fun to get like a big win, a big piece win quickly. So we talked about this a little bit last night, but you can actually trim the tops off of all these, and then they won't be loops anymore. It'll be like a shag rug, which is kind of neat. All right. Kind of filling it in down here. Oh, we're totally going to get this done in a couple minutes. Small little area. But yeah, here's what it looks like on TikTok. I think you can see me poke through. That's why I think it'd be cool, like if you had one of these to like a big frame to have a mirror behind it or something, so you can just look up and peek at where you're at without flipping it around. There's got to be a way to do that, right? I would think someone figured that out. All right, we're almost done here. I think I just need to crawl up back the way I came, and that will be enough. Yay. Get a little more slack. Oh, we're basically done with this pink then too. Cool. So we finished 2 colors today. Zoop. All right. Yay, we got that done. All right, let's look. They're so freaking cute. Look at them. Oh my gosh. So all these loops, like if some seem out of place, we can actually kind of push them exactly where we want to later. That's kind of like the last step after you got the whole thing done. It's just doing all those little tweaks, and it all does make a difference. So here we are again. Here you guys can see the side. But it's going to be fun. I actually like this red outline, how bright it is, and that it's a different outline than this. It is looking so cute. All right, so next up, we are going to be doing that tulip that's right in the middle, and so we'll do the orange outline. This is a little thinner. I still don't think it's thin enough, though, to do 2 threads, but maybe I'll want to go around it again. I don't know. We'll see. So we'll do a little test. I guess it's not, yeah, it's a little thinner. We'll see. You know what? Unless I can find, I might have a different orange too, so maybe I'll peek at that, because I think I might have an orange that's this weight. And then it would all match. So I'm going to check on that before tomorrow. But otherwise, it'll be an orange like this for the outline. So it'll be kind of bright and fun how this guy is, this tulip. So we'll do that, and that won't take long at all, I don't think. So tomorrow we'll totally be able to start the green, and I think that's just when it's really going to start coming together. But I think this turned out so cute. I do have to say, I do like kind of the wool a little bit better, but maybe I just need to live with it a little bit. So the acrylic is shinier. I do have some loops out of place that I'll probably trim down, but that's last step. It's looking so fun, though. Ah, so cute. All right, you guys. I think we'll call it there for the night. Let me just show you guys on this bit here again. So cute. So it is, like I said, about as big as my head for both of those tulips. But I love this idea. I could definitely see doing more of this for sure. And again, it's of that tiny little tulip embroidery pattern. This is blown up about 600%. And I just printed it on my printer and just tiled it. And I just, this is what I pinned to the back of the monk's cloth, and I held it up to a bright window and just traced it with the Sharpie onto the back. And you can't see any of that Sharpie on the front. And plus we're putting like the thickness of the thread, the yarn through too. So you can't see any of that Sharpie at all. So awesome. And again, guys, we are switching over the embroidery of the month. Here's it in its cute little gifty packaging. So we're switching that over in like a half hour. I started at 10. At 10, I take it off, and then I switch it over to the April's embroidery of the month. So this will still be available, but it's going to be with the freebie. So you have the notepad with the cute little graph paper. Yeah, I'll show you guys there. And here, that comes free for the next half hour when you get the embroidery of the month. So you're a gentle reminder of that, and then it will be switched over at 10. It'll probably be like 10:20 by the time I get it completely switched over. And it'll be April's embroidery of the month. So awesome, you guys. Thank you again. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. Good night. Good night, guys.